Hello and welcome to Self-Publishing Made Simple, the ultimate course that takes you step by step through the self-publishing process. Today we're going to walk through an overview of the group, what you can expect, to help you determine whether or not this is a good fit for you. So, let's get started.
And I can remember being like this when I first started. And you don't think it's going to be so hard, and it shouldn't be so hard, but there's so much. My goal is, as an instructor, is to provide you with a structure and a strong foundation for everything that you need to learn, to be there as an accountability partner, to provide you with the tools and resources and expertise that you need, and to have that strong community of people working together to help you every step of the way, so that you can go from your manuscript to a published book within the 12-week period. And the format that I've put together is weekly live meetings. They will all get recorded because not everybody's going to be able to make it every week. I also block off 2 hours every week where I just show up. No agenda. It's optional. You don't have to attend. But if you have questions on the reading, you have a specific issue you want help with, I'm just there for anybody who drops in. So sometimes it's, an individual that says, I'm trying to copyright this, my edit's done, I'm trying to copyright and I'm having trouble navigating the system. Can I walk through it? And I say, go ahead, share your desktop and let me walk you through it. There are others that have, questions or issues. They're working with an illustrator and they want to show me some samples. And then some people just show up because they learn a lot from other people's questions. And I thought that was interesting. The people that have attended those sessions get so much out of it. Here's some of the topics that we cover. It's really A to Z. We go through the whole process: filing your copyright, writing a good manuscript, the editing process, the illustration process from beginning to end. I have contracts that I'll share with you. We also talk about graphic design, lots of information about marketing, writing good descriptions and making sure that your copy that you put on your listing is going to sell. We have presentations about school visits, social media marketing, all of these things and more, because when I come and sit for 2 hours with no particular agenda, then those that show up at that meeting can take us, the questions can take us anywhere, and I will make sure that if I don't have an immediate answer, that I'm pulling information together, getting somebody in that can talk more about it. And then, plus you've got that 2-hour open office hours or drop-in hours. There's a lot of knowledge sharing, not just from me, but from others as well. I have a Facebook group, and I do have a component of one-on-one coaching, which is I will ask for you to set up a one-on-one so that I can learn more about the issues specific to you. These are samples of the types of people that you will see coming in and out of our work group, and recordings that are also available for you because I have a private YouTube group that has, about 100 hours of recordings from the groups that I've held, and with all these amazing speakers. That's available for you also as part of this. Yeah, I make the recordings available the very next day. So I also I'm just sharing this kind of mind map that I put together with regard to the self-publishing process. Most people think that publishing is just this: write the story, get it edited, create illustrations, design and format it, prepare for your launch, and then publish. This here is where most people spend their time. But what we do is we want you to start thinking about, right up front, your goals and strategy. Look at your budget, talk about the business, really understand the business side. and start thinking about marketing and planning that has to be done. For example, you can't self-publish alone. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but you are going to need a team of people to help you. For example, unless you're an author illustrator, then you need an illustrator to help with putting your illustrations together. You will need somebody to do a cover design for you, a layout of your book, to produce the files that you're going to need to load up into Amazon. You may need somebody to help you with setting up your Amazon account or coming up with keywords. So we talk a little bit about what's your budget, what are the things, how much can you expect all of this to cost, and I share budget spreadsheet with you. And start you thinking about how are you going to market your book? What is, who are your readers? What types of messages are going to resonate with them? Where are you going to sell your books? So we start to think about the marketing plan, the resource plan, what you're going to do to fund your book. And we start working through some of these things early on. And as we're also talking about some of the stuff that happens during the main part of publishing your book. So there's lots of things that happen. And then once the book is published, you want to make sure that you're executing on that marketing plan. You want to run ads, very likely. You're going to probably want to schedule events like school visits, but also monitoring your sales, tweaking things. Sometimes you try to play with some different descriptions on Amazon, seeing if you can get if it helps you get some click-throughs or purchases where if the text is not selling, if the description's not selling. So lots of things that have to happen after you publish your book and in order for you to stay successful. So we talk about the whole self-publishing process and give you the support that you need through all of it. And it can feel a little overwhelming. We do our best to give you, to touch on these things, give you assignments, give you resources, and just a drop-in time for you to be able to come in and say, wow, I'm overwhelmed. I'm learning a lot. I got some questions. Can you just help me answer these questions? And that's what we're here for, is to help get you through the process as efficiently and as stress-free as possible. Yeah, so I have a checklist that I'm happy to share, which has the majority of the tasks that we'll be going through on it. Okay. So let's see, common questions. Some people, it's more about fears and doubts. This is too complex? Am I going to be able to really do this? Well, 80% of the people that are surveyed or asked, would you love to write a book? Do you have a book in you? And they say, absolutely yes, they have one. Only a small percentage of those ever start writing their book. And of those that do start, only 1% ever finish, because it's complex. There's a lot of things that, it's easy to run into a roadblock and just stop. So we're here to try to help you avoid that. Getting into a group like this can really help keep you on track, help you build relationships with other authors that you're seeing going through the same things as you are. And a lot of people think self-publishing is just, low quality. People think, oh, you self-published, so it must not be a high quality book. Not anymore. Self-publishing there's some pretty amazing books out there. And I've got a number of them that I can share that were published right from our author work group that would put a lot of the traditionally published books to shame, because they're so well done and so gorgeous. Some people struggle with the imposter syndrome. I don't have a master's degree. I didn't go to school for writing. They put themselves down. They doubt themselves. And you need to put that out of your mind. You can do this. We give you all of the things that you need. your message is your message, and your book needs to be heard by, there's a child, there's a family out there that's waiting for this message. And that imposter syndrome is just going to get in the way. So we put that aside and we focus on working together, and we just take it one step at a time. And then before you know it, it's your book out there that people are rushing to buy. And that's your bestseller badge, or, #1 new release out there. You can definitely do this. So don't let things get in your way, and don't let that negative self-talk in your mind prevent you from doing something that could really change the lives of someone else. Um, money is an issue with some, and they don't want to waste money. Especially because if you don't know what you're doing, you could very easily pay way more than you need to. I had one author who I was very lucky to be able to get her before she finalized a contract with a very predatory, they call them hybrid publishers. They say that they're going to publish your book, and they contacted her and said, we really liked your manuscript, we want to publish your book. And they were going to charge her $10,000 to publish her book. And she was going to have to pay for book printing. They were going to own all the rights. And I just said, stop. Join my work group and let me help you do this. Do not go with these predatory guys. You're going to spend a ton of money on something that, you don't need to do that. So now this author owns her own rights to everything. She spent about $1,200 to go, and that's including illustrations. And she is just watching her beautiful colored illustrations come to life. So she is so grateful. For $10,000, she could do 6 books or 7 books instead of just the one. And I have other authors who, unfortunately, I didn't get to them in time. And one individual who paid $20,000 because she had 2 or 3 books published by this predatory company. And now, I recommended she get the rights, and because they weren't high quality. They needed to be fixed. The illustrations were not good. The covers were not good. They weren't selling. So she contacted them to try to get her rights back, and they want to charge her $5,500 to get the rights back to her book. And she paid $20,000 to have it published, to have these 2 books published. So, we want to help you avoid all of that, and we don't want you to waste money. So that's why, and my goal is to save you way more money than you're going to pay for this work group. Can you make money? Absolutely you can. And going about it the right way. #1, the less money you spend, and the more deliberate you can, spend it on quality things like illustrations versus, hybrid publishers, then you're going to have less money that's going to have to, before you start making a profit. And we have experts in the area of sales, marketing, publicity, so that you can learn more about how to turn a book into a profitable venture that can be a source of income for you if that's what you desire. So you just need the dedication and the knowledge and the practice, and that is definitely a possibility. And can you afford it? The way that I look at it is, if you've got the savings to work through, there's a lot of different budget options. You want to make sure that you're having quality illustrations. If you don't have the money to do it well, then I would recommend looking at crowdfunding, and go to Kickstarter, go to Indiegogo, get others to help support these efforts, so that you're not putting yourself in debt to create this book. And so there are options, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's so important for the one-on-one strategy and planning session that we start with at the very beginning of this author work group so that I can understand where I need to connect you with my network in order to get to align the support that you need all the way through the project. Here's the link to have you go in and get more information about the course and to register. The price for the course right now is, because the early bird pricing is done, so it's $199 for 12 weeks, and you don't pay extra for the one-on-one coaching. You get the weekly meetings, the recordings, the support with me, the three coaching sessions, plus the 2 hours of the open office hours. You can drop in once a week if you want to. All of that is included in the $199 price, as well as the resources that I'll provide to you, the checklist, the contract, the budget spreadsheet, samples of marketing kits, press kits, and access to these other individuals that we'll bring in.